Welcome again to GiveSendGo Spotlight TV, where we get to spotlight some amazing campaigns and their owners in the endeavors that they have going on all over the world. Today, I've got a couple campaign owners here with me, one, Kaylin Cressman and Charles Crouch, and they have a campaign on GiveSendGo raising funds for an app called Candid, or a website called Candid. I actually just found out it's going to be a little bit more. So we typically throw this thing off right back to you guys to give us a little bit of background, what you guys are doing, about yourselves, what you're fundraising for. Let the GiveSendGo army out there of givers know who you are, what you're fundraising for, what you're doing with it. I will say this right now: the campaign link for those of you looking to dive into it a little bit more can go to givesendgo.com/candid. And you can read a little bit more on the page there about what it's all about. But I've got these two guys to tell us right here what it's all about. So why don't you guys chime in? What's happening on your campaign? What are you fundraising for?
Yeah, so we are developing a platform that serves as a solution to the censorship that we saw during the last election and in previous elections, just the biased mainstream media. And so what we believe the solution is an unbiased platform where we can compare candidates side by side, right? There's a lot of misinformation. The problem is we're going to the ballot box, we're voting for people that maybe after the first two positions, we don't really know who we're voting for. We don't know what the positions maybe even do. We certainly don't know the names or what they stand for, what they voted for in the past. And so we are creating a platform that makes it very easy, very convenient to compare candidates side by side quickly. And the information that we're using is provided by the candidates themselves. So candidates are providing short 2-minute videos on key cultural issues. Let's say gun control, abortion. You get to watch a 2-minute video on where they say they stand on an issue. And right next to that video, you get to see their voting history. So you can compare where they voted for in the past, what they say they stand for today. And you also have the ability to donate to their campaign.
Awesome. So you saw what was happening in society. You decided to come up with a solution for it. Where do you think that you're at as far as your rollout when you're looking to get this thing out?
So we're going to soft launch January 1st of 2022, and that's going to serve for local elections in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We're going to cover 2 to 4 counties, as well as the gubernatorial election, so governor, and that's going to be soft rollout. We need to learn a lot of lessons before we do a full-scale rollout for the 2024 elections. So yeah, January 1st, 2022. So was this an idea that you had having a tech background, or was this just an entrepreneurial vision of doing something, or this is something you've been involved in the past? Where did this really rise from? Entrepreneurial vision, but I think we both feel it's a civic duty at this point. We need to provide a solution. The progressive agenda has had the high ground in this electoral battlefield for so long. And so rather than continuing to fight on that battlefield, we're just going to change the battlefield. We're going to level it out, and we're going to give people equal opportunity. And we think that with that level battlefield, we think the truth is going to win, and we think the right people are going to be put in position.
All right. And so, Charles, what's your play in this game? We've got Kaylin speaking a little bit over here.
I'm the armor bearer.
Okay.
You guys remember that King Saul in the Bible, in the Old Testament, he needed someone to carry around his armor. And I'm coming along beside Kaylin and Kaylin's vision and saying, you know what? I served in the military. I went overseas and fought in a war, and I definitely did not fight for censorship or for anyone to tell me what I can and can't say. So the vision of this is going to expand American freedom, going to be good. Kaylin's vision is good for people. So if you've ever been to the ballot box, and here's like 25 names that you have never heard of before, and you play an eeny, meeny, miny, mo with them, that's not the way you should vote. You should be informed. And so you flip open your phone and you put in your address, and up pops all your available candidates, and you can research them for a few days before you have to go and make that decision, and you can interact on the platform. This is just a good platform that hasn't really been rolled out yet. Right now, you still have to go and fish and find the information out for yourself. So when Kaylin first initially told me his idea, I was like, that's from God. That hits my heart. And let's put that talent to work. Let's throw it to the wind, and let's raise our sail and see what God does. So Kalen is got a God idea, and I'm just getting behind it to see his strengths and weaknesses and mine come together to see this through. So we thank you guys at GiveSendGo for allowing us to get this out here and crowdsource it.
Sure. I'm curious where you, for all the listeners out there, where you guys actually heard of GiveSendGo. Where did GiveSendGo come across your feed?
Charles, that's you, man.
Oh, was I the one that said it?
Yeah.
Well, I saw what you guys did to help Project Veritas, and they vetted their sources. And you know, if James vetted you guys and did the research on it as a journalist he is, I went and looked at your website and I said that's good enough for me. Let's go with GiveSendGo. And you guys are already doing the same thing we're doing.
Yeah. No, it's completely true. I'm glad. I'll take that back to Project Veritas and the team that thanks from them for the exposure that they've helped get to GiveSendGo because of the use of our platform, because they're doing amazing work. There's towers in society, and I think that people like what you guys are doing, what we're doing here, what James O'Keefe and Project Veritas is doing are movements to take back ground that we didn't realize was being taken from us. We kind of were just sitting on the sidelines of society as it goes, and then we realized, wow, wait a second, things have really changed, and there's big entities that are trying to dictate how things ought to be when it's not the case, because we have inalienable rights, we have God-given rights, we have freedom. We live in a country where that freedom came at a very, very high cost. Anybody that served or even had family members that served know that the blood of men and women was shed to ensure that we could have freedom in our country. And it will be the last thing that I'm going to do is trample on that freedom for the sake of cultivating a narrative.
Think about this. The current system is set up for you to go to the news media to find out your information. When you do that, you pay them money. And when you pay them money, they feed you lies and bias and filtered information. So you're paying them to deceive you at the same time. So this kind of rips the spine out of the local news media, the news media. You get the information straight from the horse's mouth yourself. Now, the candidates can tell you whatever they want. They can lie to you if they want, but if they have their voting record right next to their video, you can be a little bit better vetted. But right now, it's being filtered to your ears and eyes through the current system.
Yeah, no, it's so needed. I believe the same thing, that what you have, Kaylin, is something incredible that once in the hands of people, that they'll be able to make informed decisions. And that's what we need to do, because people can't make informed decisions when there's censorship abounding. And and this isn't we're a Christian platform. We call ourselves a Christian platform because this is our faith that we believe in. But it's a Christian doctrine too. Jesus said, if you want to know me, you've got to seek for me. Truth is only found at the end of a seeking. It happens through endeavor and searching out. And that doesn't happen when all you're getting is, here's what you're told to believe. It actually comes through confrontation of ideas. Like, truth is exposed that way. And so we're at such a disservice with what's happening. And I'm so happy to hear of other people that are stepping up to the plate, willing to walk out. We're probably a couple of years ahead of you in the journey. And I know that it's difficult. So my encouragement to you is be ready and run with endurance, because it's a long run, but it'll be worth it. Definitely will be worth it. And we'll be happy to come alongside you as best we can. GiveSendGo is all about the rising tide of the movement that we see happening. And so as you get better, as I get better, we can kind of carry and lift the whole thing up. And so we're happy to come alongside you in whatever ways we can to promote what you guys got going on. We love the fact that you found GiveSendGo. And over this next several months to come, we'll get you back on here as you get closer to launching, as you get closer to rolling things out. We'll have you come back on and give people an update, allow them to see what's going on. because I think this needs to be in the hand of everybody that is voting, that's legal and supposed to vote, and and that they're able to make informed decisions. So
Yep.
anything else that you guys want to add before we let you go?
We're just so thankful for GiveSendGo. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you're doing for the country and what you're doing for campaigns like ours. It's huge.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all you viewers out there, the campaign is GiveSendGo.com/candid, GiveSendGo.com/candid. Check it out. You can read a little bit more. You can shoot them a message through the Pray Now button. There's a lot of functions and features. You can, that's one of the things that GiveSendGo adds that you'll probably find on no other platform is a Pray Now button where people can show their support beyond just the monetary. And I will tell you that that's something we've heard a lot back from a lot of different people, that in those dark moments, some of those messages that come through really help carry the day. So use that functionality, it'll be there for you. I am curious though, before I close it, have you received a phone call yet from GiveSendGo?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Was it from Joy? Was that her name? Joy called us, and this is what did it for me. Because Kayla, I three-way called you in the middle of our conversation.
Yes.
She called us to intercede and pray over Candid USA fundraising. She said, "Hey, I'm here to be your intercessor, prayer warrior partner." She called us up, and I said, "Hold on, let me get Kaylin on the call." Kaylin happened to pick up, and she just agreed with us in prayer, and did not see that coming, didn't expect it. Super refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
And an organization that structures their business model around more than just the flow of money is a fantastic thing to see. Can I tell a quick story?
Yeah, definitely.
A buddy of mine does commercial real estate, some residential, and he does a lot of land contracts and deeds. So he found Jesus about 5 years ago during a time when his kids were kind of questioning their faith, his faith, and so he turned his heart to the Lord and started praying fervently. In his business practice, he started researching land contracts in America, late 1600s, 1700s, up until the Revolutionary War. And he said that a lot of these land deeds, the first line of the contract had written on it, "This contract is made in the sight of the Lord Jesus Christ."
Really?
And after the Revolutionary War and into the 1800s, he said he kind of saw that first line didn't appear to be anywhere. So he said, "You know what? I'm going to start using it. I'm going to bring this back. I'm going to start making my contracts the first line. This contract's made in the sight of the Lord Jesus Christ." And he'd write up the contract and he'd give it to people. He'd be like, "Here you go. What do you think?" And they'd read the first line and they'd read the contract and they'd say, "We've never seen this before. What's up with the first line?" And he goes, "Well, I do my business for God, with God. And if you're not okay with doing business in the sight of Jesus, then it's a deal breaker, no contract. Do you have a problem with that?" And they would tend to say, "No, I'm fine with it. I was just wondering. I haven't seen that before." And I think I'd like to see business coming back. It's kind of like what you guys are doing, just business in the sight in the sight of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man, that's right on. That's an awesome story. GiveSendGo was birthed around that idea, was that money meets the immaterial needs that we have in this world, but it doesn't meet our immaterial realities, which happen. You lose somebody in a car accident, you've got cancer, you got all these things that money might help get you some physical solutions, but they won't help the hopelessness, the despair, all of those things that come along with those realities. But Jesus meets those things. If you dig into him, that's what he does. And so we're like, well, if we're going to have a crowdfunding platform, it can't just deliver half the solution, helping people raise money. It's got to deliver the whole shebang, which is the hope of Jesus with our fundraising endeavors. And so we built it that way, and we're always searching for how can we do this better? How can we deliver this better? And 7 months ago, our team, we were really looking at that Pray Now button, and it was just a counter, and we added a way for people to send messages. And then we said, you know what? man, people have been driven into isolation. COVID has shut so many things down. Let's break this barrier one step further. See, and let's start calling and praying for people that have set up campaigns. And so we hired our first full team were prayer people to pray for campaigns as they came through, and to ring them up, leave a message on their voicemail if they don't answer, but talk with them and pray with them in person. And it is amazing. Literally, I mean, I could talk for hours about it because we get the feedback from our team constantly saying, I just got off the phone with this person and I have to call back because they're bringing their spouse in or whatever. This is an amazing story. 4 weeks ago, somebody who had just experienced massive tragedy was sitting with a gun in their lap about to kill themselves. And God ordained it at that moment for our prayer person to call them and speak hope, speak life into their situation, talk to them, comfort them, get them connected to the right resource, and totally change their perspective. And she's alive today because of that moment. And yeah, it's incredible. But when you walk out God's steps, like you said, and ordained, you begin to see life flourish. And that's what we've seen. We're going to continue to do it. We love hearing that feedback because, man, it's what it's all about, encouraging people to continue to press on into the good that they're called to do. So amazing, guys. It's been fantastic to chat with both of you. I look forward to the next time I'm out in your area and we get to meet up in person, go grab a bite to eat or something.
Sounds good.
And if you're ever up in my area, shoot me an email. Shoot somebody an email at the team. But GiveSendGo.com/Candid. Expect to hear about it over the next year or two as it rolls out. Check out the campaign page. Reach out when you can. And we're going to sign off, and we'll have you guys back on as soon as we can. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Take care. Thank you.